Hey kindergartners, I'm back with another mini lesson today. So far, we have been thinking about our reading strategies, those things on our bookmarks that we use when we're reading a story. We've talked about how we look at the picture to help us solve tricky words. We've talked about getting your mouth ready and saying the first sound as you read the sentence to help you with tricky words. We've talked about thinking, does that sound right when I say it, to help solve tricky words. Today I have a new strategy. Today's strategy is that we're going to look really closely at our words and see, is there a part I know inside that word? First, I have a little word work activity that you can use to help you with your sight words, those words we have to know really fast. So, I'll be back with our word work in just a second. Here we go. For word work today, we're going to do something called table writing. However, we're not going to use a table. You certainly can use a table to do this. The other thing that you need is your finger. That's it, just a table and a finger. I'm going to show you a couple other ways that you can do this without a table. I'm going to use a binder that I have from my shelf, and I also brought in some sand from the backyard. I put it in a little bowl from our sandbox. You could use shaving cream, you could use whipped cream, you could use just some dirt if you make it nice and fine in a bowl. All of these things will work for table writing. Here's what you do. You need to put your words, the words we need to know fast, on some cards. Turn them so you cannot see them. Then you take a peek at your card, you read it, little, turn it back over, and write it 3 times with just your finger. Little, little, little. And then you do your next one. Now, what happens if I look at my word 4 and I go to write it and I forgot. What was the next letter in 4? I'm going to think for a minute. I can't remember. So now I can take a real quick peek. F-O-R, F-O-R. Okay. F-O-R, F-O-R. 4. There it is. I got it 3 times. Now for my last word, I'm going to switch to the sand. My last word is here. H-E-R-E. Here. Okay. Ready? H-E-R-E. Now you may have noticed that I did it 3 times for each word. It's important that we do it repeatedly over and over again, and they suggest 3 times fast. Always remembering that if you need a little peek, you can take one, but try your best to do it without looking at the card. If it's too hard, if you just can't quite remember it, then go ahead and look at the card, and then the next time you do it, try it without the card. Hope you enjoy this activity. Hope you get to maybe try something fun like sand or whipped cream or shaving cream. All right, so now that you've had a chance to work on those sight words quickly, we're going to move on to our mini lesson. The lesson today, as I said before, is look for a part you know. What does that mean? Well, that means that when you come to a word that you don't know, it's tricky. You've tried some of your other strategies, nothing's working. But maybe you can look really closely at the word, looking for my magnifying glass, really closely to see if there's a word in there, a part in there that you know that could help you. So if you look at our chart here, it says at the top, look for a part you know. I'm using the word stand to help us today. So what I noticed in this word is the and part. I know and is a word I know fast. So if I put the beginning, the st, and the and, stand together, I can read that word. I can stand up. That is how you look closely and see if maybe there's a part you know. So I'm going to switch now to our dry erase board so that you can see some other words and maybe find the and part in them. All right, so here's stand, and we already talked about stand. Remember that st and is inside there, and we can see the and. So if we know and, all we have to do is put it together. St and stand will help me solve that word. Now, what if I have another word? I found another word that has and in it. It's like stand. Let's see. There's the and part. I see it. And the beginning part is B. And I know that B goes ba, and band. Oh, that's the word. Band. And band is like stand because they both have and in them. I found another word in a book that I was reading too. This one's a little trickier. Let's see if we can solve it. So this has and in the middle. Do you see it? And. So I have the beginning, and I have the middle, and then I have an ending sound. Let's think about that. I know that C goes k, and, but why? I'm not sure if you've learned this yet, but you will learn that Y at the end of the word is either I or E. And in this word, it goes E. I'm just going to give you that little clue. So let's try to put it together and see if we can solve this word. K and E. Do that a little faster. My Y's stuck there. K and D. Candy. Do you hear it? Candy. Stand, band, and candy all have the and part. So what does this look like when I'm reading a book? Well, let's take a peek. I have a couple of books that I have read to you on Read Alouds. The Duckling Gets a Cookie. If you haven't checked it out, check out your Teacher's Class Dojo because they are all posted on there or on Facebook. So in this story, I used this strategy when I came to a word, and look what word it is. K and E. There's that and. Do you see it? Candy. I was able to solve that word because I knew and. There was another word in here. I'm going to flip through right here. Look at this word. Do you see? I know the word at. At is a word I know. TH. Well, that's tricky. That goes the. That. That. I could solve that word because I know at. There's another one that's kind of like that. Look at this word. I was reading this book, Pigs Make Me Sneeze, and when I was reading it, I came to this word, and I noticed that inside this word, look closely, is the word the, then, the, and then is in this word. Then is a word that I found because I knew the part. So, as a reader reads a book, they come to words they might not know in the story. They can use parts they know, like and the, and different other parts you know. I was thinking about candy just now. I didn't even notice this when I was planning my lesson. But if you look at candy, you could also maybe notice the word can in there. Maybe you didn't see and like I did. Maybe you saw can. Candy. Just another way that we can see parts inside of words to help us solve them when they're tricky. So let's review and think about how we'll use this as a reader. I'm going to put a picture of our little anchor chart at the bottom of my post. And I want you to use it to help you to solve those words. So I've come to a word I don't know. I've used my bookmark. Here it is. I used my picture. I got my lips and mouth ready, and I'm still stuck. What do I do now? Well, I'm going to look closely. I'm going to look really closely and see, is there a word I know? And if there is, can I put it together with the other sounds to solve the word? That is a strategy we use. If you look at your bookmark, it is on your bookmark. It says look for parts you know, and it actually has the word stand on there, just like the one we did. So, as you're reading, give this reading strategy a try. Or maybe you're not reading. Maybe you're just looking at a book for fun. Maybe it's a book that's too hard, and you're just looking through the pictures and telling a story. This is a fun activity to look at the words. Maybe you can't read them, but maybe you can find parts you know in words. Find other words inside of words and see. Maybe you can take a book that might be too hard to read and you can solve tricky words in it. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. I'll be back with another reading strategy soon. I hope you give this one a try. I hope you're reading and using your other strategies, and I hope you're finding success. See you soon.